You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast,
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 299. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on, yes, still Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and hardcore casual himself, Roshan Warner, at Roro.
Hello, hello.
Hello. The host of Large Popcorn and video producer at The Gamer, Christian Macias, at ISO Christian.
Are games good this year?
Maybe. And resident Embark Glazer and my fellow Spartan, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins, with 2 S's.
reporting for duty, sir. Ready to glaze.
Glaze on. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating. What does that look for?
You said glaze on?
Yeah, glaze on.
and everyone let you get away with that.
What do you mean?
I like it, man.
Shit. All right. Thank you for everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our most anticipated games remaining for 2025. But before we get there, a little housekeeping. We have somewhat fleshed out what we're doing next week for episode 300. 300 episodes. Insane. Gage right now is going to be the highlight because he is going to be eating the hot wings that he was supposed to eat years ago. We're just going to say years ago.
We never put a time limit on it. Not supposed to eat at any time. Just supposed to eat.
Yeah. And while
I will not stand for the slander.
While he's eating them, he will have to do a Jeopardy board, I think, that Christian has made for him.
Oh, it's not done.
Oh, it's not done.
It will be tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I mean next week.
Well, what I'm trying to not tomorrow. Definitely not tomorrow. What I'm trying to do is like the greatest hits from all of the stuff the categories that you guys have liked the most. So like the music one, and then the box art bonanza one. I think that was a favorite.
That was awesome. Yep.
Hell yeah.
And you should totally, for me specifically, you should throw in you did another one similar. What was it? Movie posters without the title on them.
Do some movie posters. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And Gage also says that he's going to make a Jeopardy board as well.
Yes, for the 3 of you.
Yeah. All right, so stay tuned for all of that next week. But let's move into the topic of the show. Our most anticipated games left for 2025. We still have a lot of stuff still to come. 6 months to go in the year. It's crazy. We're already at the halfway point of the year. A lot of stuff on Game Informer's monthly calendar that I have pulled up here. So yeah. I guess we're going to go round robin, and I would say start with your least most anticipated game. So, we're going to do 5 each. So we're going to start at number 5, work our way up to 1.
Does no one have honorable mentions?
Well, that would be a good time for that right now. What kind of honorable mentions do you have, Christian?
Oh, why me?
Because you just asked them.
Why do I have to go?
You just asked.
I'm just asking if anybody else has any first.
Okay.
I didn't want to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I have 2 honorable mentions, and they're both from the same franchise. Can you guess what it is? It's Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and also Ninja Gaiden 4. That's my honorable mentions.
What's the month? What is the release date for Ninja Gaiden 4? Didn't they get one at the last thing?
I think it's October, right? Yeah, October 20th in the hellish 10 days of October, where everyone decided to release their game at the same time.
What day was it? You said
October 20th.
October 20. I have to update the list that I have on my iCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Who else has some honorable mentions?
I have 2 as well. I don't know how I'm going to do it, though. Can someone else go first real quick?
I've got one, I think. 1 second. I'm just trying to see if I can.
I said ninja. I was reading ninja. I was reading Ninja Gaiden and I said ninja. Rose, honorable mention is Hello Kitty Island Adventure, right, Ro?
No.
Game is already out.
That game, yeah. But thank you for space holding time for me.
Sorry.
My honorable mention is Easy Delivery Co.
Oh.
Company. I think Gage brought this up to me. I think it was last week or the week before. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is some cozy vibes, looks fun. So I added it to my wish list. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm very, very excited for it to come out. I don't think it has a release date, but it's 2025, I think, still, right? If I
think so. That sounds right.
correctly. Yeah, 2025 it says here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It looks like a nice, cozy, relaxing time. And cute.
Here's the problem that I'm running into, Roshan, and only
Yes.
Roshan. I technically have 6 games on my list, and I can't decide what game is getting taken out and getting put on the honorable mention list.
That's what I just had to do too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's hard.
It is hard.
Okay. What if there's a game that we don't know is going to be 2025? Like, it seems like it's not. It seems like it's not going to be this year.
I would say mention that as your honorable mention then.
Okay.
Right.
Got it. Okay, then I have 2. Number 1 is Cairn. It's a rock climbing game. There was a demo of that a couple of months ago. Really fun. I'm stoked for that full release. And number 2 is a game that almost made the list until about 30 seconds ago. And that was Metroid Prime 4. Because it seems like that game might slip out of this year.
Oh God, I hope not. I really hope not.
I hope it does, because I would kind of want to play this on a Switch too, but I also don't want to buy a Switch too.
Fair. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get one this year either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want to have it when everybody's talking about it. Yeah. Maybe wait next year until I get one, please.
That means Donkey Kong is also not on my list.
I wonder how that's gonna run on Switch 2 or Switch 1.
At 30 frames.
Sorry, Switch 1. 30 frames. Yeah.
I mean, it was built for Switch 1, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll probably play really well on Switch 2.
Yeah, significantly better. Better rendering, I'm sure, as well. Also, they were showing off Switch to journalists using the mouse control. So, you know what I mean? Definitely seems like a Switch 2 kind of. It's prime for a Switch 2.
All right. Gage, you don't have any honorable mentions?
0 honorable mentions. I'm not excited for any games.
Oh shit.
Can I say something?
5.
I almost feel the same way.
That's because they're all in 2026. Big year.
That's true.
This year.
I got what I need right in front of me. Rematch for the end of time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Friends, and you were gonna have a warm-hearted moment.
No, he's talking about rematch.
Well,
He's talking about
you can play a
rematch.
rematch with friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Listen to them yell at each other and get scared.
Okay. I'll dive into my first, my 5th one, we'll say, because we're going backwards. My number 5 most anticipated for the rest of the year. Keurig, it's funny you mentioned that in the chat because it is my number 5 game, Mafia: The Old Country. I'm excited to hopefully get back to the roots of the Mafia franchise. Number 2 was the best, and then 3's story was fantastic, and the gameplay I was not a huge fan of. So I'm hoping we get back to a more grounded Mafia, a tighter experience, which it seems like it's headed that way, with a shorter campaign, more linear. So we'll see. I'm very excited for it, though.
$40.
Is it
$40.
I was thinking it was 50, but that might be right. Who wants to go next?
I'll jump in. This one's gonna give me some grief, but this is what I mean. I'm not excited for many games. My number 5 most anticipated game is Borderlands 4.
Why is that?
You're such a liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. That is my number. I am excited to not only play this game. I'm excited to get home from work, kick my feet up, and just see damage numbers and get loot and just get that nice little dopamine stream of looting and shooting. And I'm excited to wear down Dan to buy it and play it in co-op with me. So, yeah, that is going to be fun solo. It's going to be even more fun when I successfully get Dan into buying it as well. So Borderlands 4 is my 5th most anticipated game this year.
You described it, and I still don't believe you.
I am. I genuinely am. I'm excited to play it. I spent the last couple of weeks trying to talk myself out of buying it on launch, but I'm probably going to get it on launch.
Yeah, and you're going to play it for like 2 days and be like, yeah, this is a video game.
Well, I guess
and
we'll
then
see.
And then never talk about it ever again.
I'm going to make this game my whole personality now.
I can't wait for this fad to be over, dude. My 5th most anticipated game is a game that I think will not set the world on fire at all, and I think it will come and go. But I also just kind of want to know what's going on with it. Hell is Us. Looks like talk about a game that seems like a video game of all time. Hell is Us. But I'm curious because I know they're like really big on the like. I watched like a 30-minute Vidoc kind of thing on it, and they were really big on like there's no waypoints in the game. There's no kind of like journal kind of updates. Everything is contextual with like talking to NPCs and stuff, and you have to like use like looking ahead, like, oh, it seems like it's this way. And it seems like a really comfy game in the fall to just kind of vibe out and enjoy with the lights off, maybe a little gummy or something, and kind of explore.
My number 5 is well, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's coming out pretty soon, I think. I won't be able to play it, but I am very interested to see how it hits as like a Nintendo fan, 3D platformer fan, all that jazz. So it'll probably be a while until I actually get to play it, but I am very excited to see how it turns out for most. I loved Odyssey, and everything that I've seen from the trailers seems like it's just taking that formula to the next level with the destructible environments and just all the cool like different ways that you could approach a level. It looks very open, like Breath of the Wild, but it's a 3D platformer. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how that turns out.
And this is the first time in years that Nintendo has confirmed what team is working on the game before it releases. They finally announced it was indeed the Odyssey team working on it. Of course, we knew it. Have you seen that like gameplay snippet of a 2D section of that game?
No, actually, I don't think I have seen that.
That game looks incredible. That game really makes me want to buy a Switch too. I'm still not going to, but I really want to for that game.
All right.
Search that up.
On to number 4. Now we're going to start to light this chat on fire because of the comments of the last picks we just made. Because my number 4 most anticipated game is Borderlands 4.
Let's go.
I am 100% on board with you, Gage, that all of the previews that have come out have said that this game is looking to be not just the best Borderlands game, but a really great game. So from what? Yeah, well, it's true, Daniel. For all intents and purposes, like this game appears to actually possibly be knocking it out of the park, but we'll see when it comes out. So that's why I'm anticipating it. And Borderlands, I love Borderlands 2 back in the day. Borderlands 3 I thought was just it was a game that released. I wasn't that big on Borderlands 3. Yeah. Sean,
and then the movie brought you back, huh?
Fuck no. The movie, and that leads me to my point that Randy Pitchford spent all of his time working on the movie that was fucking dog shit. That makes me think that this game's gonna be great because Randy wasn't around. But yeah. Friend of the show, former co-host Sean Babiak loved Borderlands 3, and I was like, dude, you're fucking insane. I'm sorry. That game is not that good.
I can't believe you let me sit here and think, damn, Dan's not gonna buy this game and he's not gonna play it with me. And the whole time you're sitting there with it on your list. You must feel so proud of yourself, huh?
I was holding on.
Can I
to
ask
it.
something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gage, are you using your webcam microphone?
Is it doing that thing again?
That seems like a very asshole thing to just say right in the middle of the podcast, but
I mean, I'd rather you say it. Let's see.
I think.
I saw you lean back, and I was like, "This audio didn't change at all."
Oh.
No, it should be. Yeah, it should be my quadcast.
No way.
Tap on it. Just tap on it.
Oh,
It is. You just have nothing in your room since you're barely moving in.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing for the sound to bounce off of, right?
I see.
Just
yeah, makes sense.
All right, number 4s. Who's next?
I think it's me after you. Keeping in the tradition that Dan started, my number 4 is a game called Hell Is Us for a lot of the same reasons that Christian listed off.
That's crazy.
My experience with Elden Ring was pretty transcendent in terms of never touching a single Dark Souls experience and jumping into this game and then having the way that the game unveils its world to you, and obviously it still has waypoints and quest markers and stuff like that, but it felt very, very organic to go and explore this game. And then seeing this game, the previews for it, not only do I really dig the art style, which is sci-fi meets kind of World War I with the capes and all that, and the dirtiness and the muddiness of it. So I really dig the art style, but then like Christian was saying, how the dev team is kind of purposefully focusing on having this very sort of immersive experience where you have to pay attention to what NPCs say and you have to try and explore the world as your own. So I'm not going to rehash everything that Christian said. I'm very much looking forward to this game as well. And it might be just one of the games of all time, but it also might be is a really cool experiment. And maybe it nails a couple of mechanics that then, are explored in spiritual successors. So Hell Is Us, man.
Oh, it's me next. Here's another game I don't think is going to do well. Silent Hill F. A lot of Silent Hill games most of them are not good. So I just need to know. I need to know. But also, it seems like they're putting a lot of legwork to make this not be a disaster of a game. And I don't think it's going to be. Because, they brought in, Akira Yamaoka is back to do some of the music. He's doing half the music. There's the normal world and there's the Silent Hill world, whatever. And then I forget his name, but it's the manga, the guy. And they got him to do the story. So it seems like they're doing a lot to make it pay off to be a really good game, or at least a really attemptive good swing. And I like games that take swings, even if they miss. Still, a swing is still a swing for me. So I'm very curious.
Ryu Kishi 07.
That's the one.
All right. My number 4 is Ghost of Yotai or Yotai. I was a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima. I very much enjoyed existing in that world, and I thought the story was good. I enjoyed it, but it's just one of those games where I don't play a lot of open world games, and it's because I don't usually have that feeling I did when playing Ghost of Tsushima, which is like I really enjoyed existing in that world and just doing all the side missions and just exploring and enjoying the environment, because I thought that game was so beautiful. And there's like very few games for me in that category that do that for me. Like Cyberpunk is another one where I just like want to do everything and just exist as that character. And I'm hoping Yote can do something similar, and hopefully they can fix any of the issues that they had with the first one and just make it a better sequel. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that hits. And as someone who enjoyed the first one, I'm sure this is going to be just as good. And I'm hoping it will be at least a little bit better.
This seems like a game that's going to really benefit from taking what worked from Tsushima and refining. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like cut out a lot of the bloat, cut out some of the fat, and address any critiques that maybe some people have with the story, and just hone in. Might pay off for them.
Hopefully.
Kirik says,
but it is woke though, so it has that going against it.
So Superman,
true.
you see this?
Exactly. Yes, I did.
I believe his cape says MS-13.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Can you believe they said that live on the news?
Yeah,
I can. Waters, dude.
I can't believe that
The least unhinged thing he said this week.
I can't believe that they're considered news.
That's
that too.
also a good
Yeah.
point.
What does Kirik say?
Kirik says, nice pick, Roshan. He also said, also extremely excited for the remake of Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That is this year.
Hell yeah. All right, so number 3. My number 3 is, I'm not copying, but this is another duplicate here. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm also very excited for that game. We talked about it, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and I've been enamored by all the gameplay I've seen of this, and I think it's very cool to see the different ways you can traverse this world and find solutions to problems that you wouldn't necessarily expect, like digging into the ground and getting around obstacles. And it's just very cool. It seems like a lot of freedom of exploration in the same sense that Breath of the Wild was freedom for exploration for the first time in Zelda, where you could climb anything. This seems like you can just dig anywhere, and just seems really cool.
Permission to say a joke, Daniel.
Go for it.
Dude, you're gonna have a great time playing this game for 2 hours and then never beating.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Just for that, I'm gonna beat Donkey Kong Bonanza. Okay. I haven't even booted up Mario Kart World. Haven't even.
You bought a Switch too?
Yeah. I played. You may not have been on the episode where I.
No, I don't think he was.
I played Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2 on my ride on vacation. So.
Handheld mode.
Yes, the best mode, some would say. Me and Ro.
I would say that.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers who love Carpool Tunnel be like.
I do.
Yep. What happens? All right, what's your number 3?
All right. My number 3 game is a game that's coming out very soon.
Oh.
In fact, it's coming out this week. That is a little game by the name of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 Remake. I very much enjoyed. So, tiny bit of lore. If in my top 5 games of all time, this game, it's actually probably been in my top 3 for a while too. But it's never left my top 5, which is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I grew up playing that game on the Nintendo 64. I absolutely loved it. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 remake was very, very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Took me right back. Didn't mess with the things I didn't need to mess with. And this game, I've played the demo that's available on Xbox. It looks like we're just going to get another really solid remake. They're not reinventing the wheel. I know there's some stuff with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 that they've tweaked, and that might be a little bit controversial. But for the most part, I think I'm going to get a really solid experience, and I'm very, very very much looking forward to getting back into this, chaining up combos, chaining up your manuals and your grinds and your special tricks. It's just good, simple fun.
Can I just say, I'm sorry, I stole your line there, Christian. I had to hear my fucking cousin all fucking day on 4th of July complain about what they did to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 to the point where I was like, bro, just don't play it. Because he's really upset about the changes, which is fine. It's a fair criticism. I was like,
The career mode thing?
because it's level based. They're doing it level based, just like the other ones.
Yeah, they're making 4 like 3 and 2 and 1. Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. If you want to play the original one, like it's still there. You can still do that.
My number 3 is also Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, 3 and 4. No, I'm joking. Of course it's not.
No, it's
What
not.
what am I, a fool? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Shit.
I should have ordered that. I'm joking. My number 3 is Mixtape. One of my favorites of the show at SGF this year. This is legitimately one of those, like, cannot wait to play. Should be number 1, to be honest. But also, I didn't put it as number 1 because it also has no date, only a release window of 2025. So I can't wait for this one. Going to be one of the most interesting games of the year, and I think will be heavily nominated in like kind of the smaller categories at this year's TGAs. It might even win a few, based on what I've seen from the hands-on demo.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add that to my honorable mentions. I completely forgot about that.
Hell yeah!
My number 3 is it's Pokemon Legends Z to A. Actually, I'm very interested in any new Pokemon game mainline, and I really like the Legends games, RCS. Well, Legends games. This is the second one. They already made one before, so hopefully this is an improvement on the last one. But I really enjoyed the first one, and that's saying something because just like Scarlet and Violet, that game was a buggy mess. And I am part of the problem. I keep buying these games. I understand that. I am sorry. But I'm hoping to, at one point, they will be able to fix it. And that is also part of the problem because they don't every single time. But I am very much excited for it because I do enjoy playing those games despite the obvious problems with them. Because the core gameplay is usually really fun, really engaging. It's just the graphical stuff that, for some reason, with their abundance of money, can't figure out. But hopefully they will. But yeah, very excited for the how do I explain it? The open world combat. That's what I really liked about the Legends games, where it's just like more action versus turn based. But yeah, excited for Pokemon Legends today.
Oh yeah.
Bro's a guy who knows what he likes. You know what I mean?
I know what I like.
And just enjoys it.
And it's not above criticism. I hate when people can't critique the things that they like because they like them.
Yeah, except for Don. That's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. Sure. Not a single thing wrong with that.
My dress up darling. Perfect.
I'm so glad it's back. Oh my god.
Can we get a modern Pokemon that's only the original 151?
I would play that.
I would
play that.
Yeah, I think everybody would play that.
That'd be sick.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And it might get more people into the cards. Like Dan has now gotten himself into a deep dark hole and all right. Number 2 most anticipated game. Mine is Arc Raiders. I'm very excited about this game after we all played it. Well, minus Roshan, because Roshan hates us and hates playing together.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
I would say I wouldn't say so much hate as much as he loathes us,
Right.
despises
Right.
even.
Right.
It's not true.
This game seems to be like knocking it out of the park on all cylinders for me, and was hitting the dopamine levels of wanting to go in one more time and just one more time. And
Sure, Dan?
Well, when you're screaming out fire, I mean that's just that's just passion. That's just passion.
That is a level of engagement, right? That is raw, unfiltered engagement with a game. Yep.
And I think the other key thing to take away is as well was the alpha was months ago at this point, and the game was pretty well polished for the state it was in, and the game's still not coming out until I think, is it October also or September? I can't remember.
October, end of October.
October, you're right. Yep, it's the day after another one of my picks. Son of a bitch. So I'm very excited to play more of it and see what changes they made since alpha and dive in with the crew.
As the resident Embark Glazer, I gotta come in and glaze here a little bit. The absolute restraint from Embark after releasing a beta and having everyone say, please release this game right now, please release this game right now, and then deciding not only to not shadow drop the game, not only to not drop the game in the summer, but to say we're going to take our time and release it October 30th. Huge, absolutely huge play from Embark.
Huge. As huge as your number 2.
Well, my number 2 is Dan's number 1, which is The Outer Worlds 2.
How do you know that?
I knew it before you. I knew it before you said. As soon as you said Arc Raiders was your number 2, I had the rest of your list. I figured out. That's it. The Outer Worlds 2. What can I say? What an impressive showing. Normally, I totally tune out for the deep dives, especially not to throw shade, but especially Xbox deep dives. They just really don't do it for me ever. But I was totally engaged with the Outer Worlds 2 and everything they were going and showing for that game. Obsidian, I mean, I could easily glaze Obsidian as well. They really know their stuff when it comes to player agency in RPGs, which is one of the most important things in a well-made RPG, Western RPG. So the fact that they were showing this game and they spent more time, instead of talking about graphics or gunplay, they spent more time talking about, here's our really interconnected.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I think Spacer's Choice has chimed in and said, no, I don't think so, Gage.
What a great time for that to happen, too.
Incredible.
They spent more time talking about, and then...
Incorrect. Right on the word connected, Keurig said.
Interconnected, yeah.
That's
Look at his hand placement, too. It seems like... Is he conjuring something?
His hand. Oh, God. Does someone else want to go while we're waiting for him to come back?
I'm kind of hoping he'll pop back any second now. It's normally not this long.
I'm wondering if his PC crashed or something.
Oh, no.
Now, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Send him a text. Let's see what he says.
I did. He sent a frowny face. That's all he sent. And I sent join back. I don't know what the frowny face means.
I think bro knows his internet died. He's over there sitting in his room. Oh no.
Oh no.
You want me to go? You want me to get my number 2?
Yeah, go ahead and just do your number 2. Because he might be.
No, he's gone.
He dropped
I'll wait
out.
for you to switch screens.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. 3. There we go. And fix the names here. There we go. All right. Until he gets back.
Okay, this is probably also a game that should be my number 1, but it isn't because it has no hard date yet either, just a window. But we did hear that it will be releasing before the ROG Ally, the Xbox ROG Ally, the Republic of Gamers Ally, if you will. And that's Silksong. Do I believe it's coming this year? I almost still no. But for the purposes of today, I'm gonna assume it's coming out this year, and I can't wait because Hollow Knight I think is one of the best Metroidvania games ever made. again by 2 people. So
That's
when Silksong comes out, it's gonna be awesome.
That's crazy that it's still not out. That was like
I know.
2.5 years ago when Xbox said it'll be out 12 months within the next 12 months.
Feels like longer, to be honest, but yeah, you're probably right.
That's crazy. Bro.
My number 2 pick is a game that, like what Christian mentioned earlier with Metroid Prime, I'm afraid may be pushed to next year, but is Kirby Air Riders. Very, like, it's been a kind of a joke on the podcast between me and Christian, both very excited, both wanting a Kirby Air Ride sequel, just like every time.
Can you believe it's real, dude?
I can't believe it's actually happening. Like every time there was an event happening, we'd be like, oh,
You're
Kirby Air
listening
Ride
to
2 will be announced.
Podcast
It
PXN.
actually happened, and it's coming out. It's called Kirby Air Riders, and I am so excited. I'm so excited to see what other modes they might think of for the game. Christian, please.
Let me just say this. When they announce City Trial as one of the extra modes, this game will immediately shoot up in like my most anticipated. Like, yes, you know what I mean?
Definitely. And just like how we were saying with Bonanza, like this is, I don't remember if it was Bonanza or if it was another game, but how we don't have Switches yet. This is the game that, like, if it comes out in a couple of months, I might have to get a Switch.
Yes, dude, I get you.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. I can't wait for this. There's not much else I could say besides I'm super excited.
Hell yeah. Gage, do you want to go back to your?
No, why bother? What is? I mean,
I was excited.
Me too. We're listening. We're locked in.
You were in the
No,
middle
Gage.
of saying connected when you disconnected.
I don't even know what I was saying. I think the game looks good. It looks very.
I want to
good.
know. I want to know
Well-
why you're excited.
well,
They spent
maybe-
more. They spent less. Oh, okay.
Maybe
I don't know
this-
when I got cut off. I don't.
maybe
Am I?
Here.
Maybe this will refresh your memory because I will go into my number 1, which is the Outer Worlds 2, and you can piggyback off of it and chime in as you please, Gage. But I am very excited for this as well. I've been waiting for this for a long time with huge anticipation. It was the first game was my 2019 game of the year. I love that game so much. Obsidian understands with the Outer Worlds, they were incredible companion quests that they had, which I loved all of the companions in that game. And they seemingly are doing all the right things with the sequel and taking a lot of the things that they learned with Fallout New Vegas specifically in incorporating all these cool perks and like even like stuff that, you know, has negatives that you have to worry about, like the one where it's like creaky knees or whatever the fuck it's called, where you like crouch and it you're almost completely undetectable when you're crouched, but then when you stand up it makes a loud creaking noise that all the enemies around you are alerted. Like, I love that shit. That's amazing. So yeah, I feel like Obsidian's crafting every bit of care into this game, and I'm incredibly excited to play it. Crickets. What the
Big agree. I mean, yeah, they're focusing on all the little minutia stuff that makes RPGs fun instead of just being like, there's more guns and there's more explosions.
And you know what, Gage? Do you remember what you said live on the air when that presentation started? You're like, man, if this had third person, this game would be amazing. And then they announced third person mode and boom.
Like halfway through the direct, yeah, that was pretty huge for that to show up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very excited. I have to be the first person to be so damn excited for a video game and counterpick it in Fantasy Critic because I was a dumbass and thought it was and confused it with Fable.
I don't know how that happens.
Well, because I thought it got delayed. And I was like, oh, I got Gage. And then I was like, fuck, wait a minute. That was Fable, not Outer Worlds. Shit.
And all the excitement.
Yep.
And all the excitement you got yourself.
I did. I got myself on that. And you know what? I probably still won't come in last place, Gage.
Am I still in first, by the way?
Well, we'll find out. We'll get there, Christian.
Oh, you're right.
We'll
You're
get
right.
there.
I'm assuming that's a no. Something else came out.
Yeah, look how excited he is. It's definitely no.
All right, Gage. What's your number one?
My number one is, of course, Arc Raiders, which not only has completely walked the tightrope of making a extraction shooter that has enough depth that makes it competent among others in the genre, but also fun and accessible to a wider audience. It also just has a great vibe, like an incredibly awesome vibe. The sound design in that game is crunchy and satisfying, and the art style is fun and unique, and obviously heavily inspired by the original sort of Star Wars trilogy for sure, but like also not so much so that it just feels like it's trying to, steal its thunder. Like it's got its own thing, its own fun retro sci-fi thing going on. And the gameplay is just peak. Like it's just literally peak when it comes to a console quote unquote extraction shooter and what that can be. I could not stop thinking about it when we were playing it. I could not stop thinking about it when I put the controller down. It pops into my memory feels like once every week at least, and I cannot wait for this game to come out. This is going to be a game that I think will have a lot of legs, especially with the time that they're taking, right? Like everybody said, release this game right now. And they're like, no, we're going to take an extra 6-7 months. So I'm hoping that means they're just adding as much content as possible, and they're just getting this thing in the best possible shape for launch, because this game is extremely promising and I cannot wait.
And the only negative is our number 1 and 2 games, Gage, are releasing one day apart.
I'm October 29th is going to be a busy day for me. That day is going to be entirely spent with like, can I try and get as much Outer Worlds in one day, so I feel like I've made a satisfying amount of progress, so I can jump into Arc Raiders.
You know what the answer is? It's going to be that bullshit strategy publishers do, where like if you pay $30 extra, you can play 4 days early.
I hope not, but if they dangle that carrot in front of me, dude, call me a rabbit.
On that week too, might have to do it.
Yeah.
Well, the Outer Worlds might actually have that. Actually,
That's what I'm saying.
It does up to. It has 5 days.
Oh, I thought you were
early.
talking about Arc Raiders.
It has
No.
5 days
Outer Worlds.
early access for Outer Worlds 2 if you have the premium edition.
Okay, well, maybe that's not a bad idea then.
Yeah, I might do that because it comes with the DLC for story expansions, anyways.
Right.
Oh well, there you go. No promise of DLCs, I guess, is a nice benefit.
Interesting. Okay, what's your number 1, Christian?
My number 1 is also Arc Raiders. Nah, I'm joking.
You're so lame.
Of course, it's Arc Raiders. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it's
hell
been
yeah.
on my list. Yeah, it is.
The emotional roller coaster, bro.
No, man. Like, this is like Gage said. This is one game that really gets retrofuturism right, and there's a lot of games that they've been chasing a little bit of that zeitgeist. Things have been trending toward that way. And like I know, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, is also chasing a little bit of that retrofuturism aesthetic in some cool ways as well. But this game, man, it's a merriment of everything. That when that beta rolled around after a day of playing, where all of us were like, "Yup." I mean, it's proper sound design. It is a stellar OST. It is fine-tuned gameplay, way more. And that's what I was most nervous about, right? Dan and I talked about how the finals never really clicked with us on console. We never felt like that kind of, we could get it to kind of feel right, but this game does. Tense third-person action, which is already setting itself apart from most other shooters. It's an extraction shooter that understands the genre well, understands the systems well for like incentivizing you to log in to complete those quests. And from what we heard, they're adding more maps and more enemy types and just more. And we already felt like it was in a place where it was near final release anyway. So yeah, dude, I think this is going to be a great game to keep in rotation for multiplayer nights with the boys for a long, long time. And I'm very stoked to see how that game shakes out, because I think it's a strong contender for one of the best games of the year.
Is this a cross-platform game or cross-play game?
Yes.
Like PlayStation, PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Cool.
Ro, what's your number one?
Oh yes, I forgot. I still had one. My last one is Unbeatable, which, if you're not familiar, is a rhythm game by D-Cell Games and published by PlayStack. I'm just going to read the description here real quick. Unbeatable is a rhythm adventure game where music is illegal and you do crimes. Follow the story of Beat and her band on the run in a narrative experience full of big emotions, powered by arcade flawless rhythm gameplay. It's like a cool rhythm game. It has a fun art style. It looks like very, very anime art style. And every single trailer that has come out for this game is just absolutely perfect in tone, and just like it just gets what it wants to do. As I there's not much more than I could explain about it. You have to like watch the trailer to really get it. But yeah, it's like it just has all these cool cutscenes that just make it really cinematic. And for a rhythm game, that's just not something that I see very often. So I'm excited to see the story side of things, but it has its own original soundtrack as well, lyrics and everything, which is very rare. Not rare for a video game to have a soundtrack, original soundtrack, but one with lyrics and vocalists and stuff like that is pretty rare. So I'm excited to hear all the songs, and so far they're all bangers. But yeah, I love the tone of what I've seen so far, and it's still a 2025, no official release date yet. But I've played the demo quite a few times, and it's hitting. It's really hitting. So I'm excited for the full release.
I am stunned that after years of picking this game I'm about to say on Fantasy Critics, you did not say Mina the Hollower as your number one.
I know. It's true. I should have. I didn't even honorable mention. Sometimes I forget about these games, like I did for Mixtape. But that is a good one too. Yeah. Damn. Mia the Hollower. Fuck.
This year?
Yeah. Damn. It's a good year if I were playing video games.
Christian, what do you mean, Mina the Hollower? He didn't have enough belief in it to draft it in Fantasy Critic this year.
Did anybody else do it?
Dan
Did Dan pick it up? Probably.
We'll find
Damn
out.
it.
Oh, well, no, I actually we already found out in a previous episode. I did, yes.
Long time. Damn.
Keurig did say in the chat, did I tell you guys I picked up the Lenovo Legion Go S, the Steam OS edition, and it rocks. I've already opened it and replaced the 1 terabyte SSD with a 4 terabyte SSD. Hell yeah.
Kind of nice.
Some Steam OS on the go.
How's the build quality on that, Keurig? Compared, I mean, I guess you only have that one, but there's lots of those little handhelds, and I think the Ally came out first, and then the Lenovo Legion came out after that, I think. And I remember thinking that the Lenovo Legion looked like the layout and the ergonomics of it looked pretty solid.
I need to find my Steam Deck.
Oh, I forgot you had one. Forgot.
Yeah, I got a plane ride coming up soon.
Plane ride. Where are you going?
Have we not talked? We know about. Have we not talked about
Going
this?
to Chicago.
Oh.
No, that's in December. Denmark. Have we not? We've talked about this before. Yeah, I
didn't know about Denmark.
I didn't know.
The week of 300, I leave to Denmark after 300.
Oh, that's when we'll all be in Canada. That actually works perfect. Yeah, that's a good time to say PSA. In 2 weeks, we will not be doing an episode because I will be in Canada.
Oh, there you go.
We will all be vibing IRL.
We will actually, all three of us will be at a baseball game.
That's true.
Can you stop saying all of us?
Well, you're going to be in
He
Denmark.
said all three of us.
You're going to be in Denmark.
Yeah, you hate us. You don't want to be here.
There's 4 people in this call. You can't say all of us.
All 3 of us not going to Denmark.
Okay. Well, This is why Justin got mad at you.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Keurig says it's very solid, very comfortable, and 8-inch screen, supports VRR, but is only 1920 by 1200, which is still great.
For a handheld, that's crisp. That's pretty crisp.
Keurig's also asking where in Canada. I'll defer to Gage and Rowe because I don't.
Southern Ontario.
There you go.
The only important place in Canada. So say all of us Ontarians.
Oh gosh, and wherever else Keurig goes.
Dan specifically on Wednesday, he'll be in Toronto. He'll be in the big. He'll be in the 6.
Going to that baseball game.
We'll be watching the Blue Jays and the Yankees play in their home stadium. That'll be fun.
Hell yeah. Christian can FaceTime.
I'm going to Ottawa by myself.
Going to where?
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Yeah. You go stand outside Parliament and watch all of our MPs do nothing.
Keurig says, dude, you're in my neck of the woods. He lives in TO. What is TO?
Toronto.
Oh, we're going there.
TO.
We are.
We're going there.
Let's see you at the game, Keurig.
Yeah,
let us run into you.
Wednesday.
You wear your PXN shirt, Keurig, and Dan will wear his.
Yeah.
And then we'll look for you.
Hell yeah.
One of these days I'll be invited to hang out with my friends.
You've been invited so many times, and you keep saying,
not for this one.
Not for this one.
I don't know the guy.
I'm going to Siberia for a little. Oh, actually, I'm going to Windsor. I'm going to Chicago that day. Sorry, I'm busy.
Maybe when Glenn considers me a friend and remarries, or well, not remarries. What's the renews?
Wow.
Renews his wedding vows.
Just in time. Glenn is in the chat and he said, "We're going to a baseball game?" Question mark.
When he renews his vows is what I meant.
Shit.
I'll make it to that one.
Man. That's why you weren't invited to the wedding.
Yeah, I'll go to my own go-karting, huh?
If Emma ever heard you say that, which is Glenn's significant other, you would be blacklisted from all future events. Just even that slip up is crazy.
Wow. All right.
She'll never hear me, huh?
Let's move on. The most anticipated game for the rest of the year, the consensus seems to be Arc Raiders.
Hell yeah.
All right. Sorry.
No. That's it.
Dirk says, I can smoke some meat and you guys can come over. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Smoke some meat. Speaking of smoked meat.
Bro, you're way too excited on that. That's crazy.
Well, speaking of smoked meat, we're going to get some street meats right now, and that is multiple Fallout projects are reportedly in development. This is coming from Insider Gaming, where it's tough being a Fallout fan right now, but apparently it was claimed in April that the Fallout 3 remaster was in the works, but it might be a very long time before it materializes. We're several years from Fallout 5 emerging from the depths of Bethesda Game Studios. It'll be a very different world at that time. During an episode of Skill Up's Friends Per Second podcast, it was claimed that multiple Fallout projects are in development. It's safe to assume that Fallout 3 Remastered is one of them, but as for the others, it's likely something linked to Fallout New Vegas, which would potentially lean on the show's success for boosted gains. Some fans have joked that another game in development could be Fallout Shelter 2, while others believe Fallout 5 might have moved away from the one-page stage it was previously at. I, for one, am extremely hopeful that when Obsidian finishes The Outer Worlds 2 and that releases, that they're going to get the go-ahead to work on a Fallout project, maybe New Vegas related, and that would be amazing.
Can I say something, Dan? I don't know how this would work about who holds the more power in these conversations, because obviously Xbox owns all of these studios now. I think it would be really cool. It would be such a perfect on-ramp for Obsidian to try making a Fallout game not in the Creation Engine. If they did move on to if they did some sort of Fallout anything after Outer Worlds 2, and for them to be given the okay from, again, whoever holds the power in this conversation to say, do it on the engine you're comfortable with, and to see what Fallout could look like on something like Unreal Engine. Because based on the Outer Worlds, and what the Outer Worlds 2 is shaping up to be, it looks like Unreal Engine is more than capable of handling expansive dialogue trees, customization, perks, all this stuff. So that would also be pretty cool, because if I can get a game set in the Fallout world that looks like it plays as smoothly as the Outer Worlds 2 does, we're off to the races, I think.
We're cooking. All right.
Note.
Gee?
Into what?
Oh my god. What is happening?
What's happening? Into the quick bites. EA is officially shutting down Anthem in January of 2026. They have announced. They said no one was laid off as a result of this decision.
My God.
Rose upset.
I'm good.
Can I say something crazy?
Say it.
I've seen it on Game Pass, and I have every now and then thought, should I get really into Anthem for like a weekend?
Just boot it up.
Exactly.
Right.
Just to see.
A weekend would be the perfect amount of time to spend with this game. I think that's probably the amount of time I spent with it when it was like launched. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's my one chance.
You have till January.
I remember playing Anthem when I was in my Destiny days.
Yep.
I just lost my game of Brick Breaker on Google.
Damn it.
Jesus. All right, our next quick bite. Former Turn 10 dev has said that Forza Motorsport will no longer continue as a series and that Turn 10 will become a support studio. Turn 10 has shuttered the Forza Motorsport space and the team is no more. This is a direct quote from him. A very sad day for one of the best car racing video games. I loved my time there. He also said the studio is open to support the Horizon side, shuttered the Forza Motorsport side only. Crazy that they made Forza Motorsport into what it was, and then Horizon spun off of that, and now they've been shut down, and well, not shut down, but turned into a support studio for Horizon.
Yeah, keeping the spin-off,
right?
And not what I would consider the flagship.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunate.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? One appeals to a much
wider
wider audience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
I mean,
close.
that makes sense, but also, like, do you not want to have like a flagship racing simulator game or SimKit, I guess, if you want to get more specific with it, to compete against like the other boxes flagship SimCade game? Like, these are the kinds of games that you want to use to showcase off powerful hardware. You know what I mean? Like, there's a great debate over like Gran Turismo versus Forza Motorsport every time those games are coming out. And a lot of times, like, Gran Turismo will get some points over here, but like other points, it goes to Forza. And like that, having that conversation, I think, is always really important for your box. And I think it's kind of a bummer to just like essentially concede that.
I think in terms of competition, you're right, but I think in the forward-thinking like landscape of where things are going, it seems like eventually Gran Turismo is going to be available on an Xbox, whatever.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That
sure.
ends up being. But you're right though that there's no competition now for Gran Turismo, so that is never a good thing to not have competition. So
not only that, I'd also say that current day Xbox, in terms of priority, having a sim racer on your box, like I feel like Xbox is they've got much bigger fish to fry in terms of like Forza Horizon can be your graphical car game that you use to sell boxes. You don't necessarily need a track racer, especially when there's a lot of third-party track racers that are already on the Xbox. At 360 era, I would agree with you. Totally have something to go up against Gran Turismo, but like current day Xbox, which seems to be struggling a little bit, I don't think Forza motorsport track racer is going to be sorely missed.
Bro was steaming with excitement about this. Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2 is now in production. It presents a new standalone 10-episode story from the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I love the first story or first season. And Trigger is back, which is the animation studio that did the first one, and they've done, I mean, they have a lot of anime under their belts, and they're always really, really stylish. So I'm sure this is going to be the same as the first season was too. But yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of story they do this time. I joked saying that I hope it breaks my heart like the first season did. But I'm open to like a different style of story too. I just really enjoy the cyberpunk world, and Studio Trigger is always killing it in my opinion. A new anime from them came out yesterday too, one of their old series. So yeah, very excited.
Oh yeah. The Last of Us Part 2 chronological mode is available right now. Naughty Dog announced just yesterday, sorry. Experience The Last of Us Part 2 in a whole new way with chronological mode, a rearranged version of the game that lets you play the story in chronological order. I think they also have some Uncharted skins to go along with that as well.
Can I say something that bugs me a little bit?
Go for it.
They said we can't make an online game because we'll spend too much time working on it. And now they're like, hey, how'd you like to play The Last of Us Part 2 backwards? We just made an update where you can do that now. What are we doing?
I was going to say something very similar.
They're filling space between their releases, but you could have just released a competent multiplayer game that people could play, and then that problem solved. You don't have to do this weird jigsaw.
I hear you, but I would say that probably didn't take much work
as much. No, yeah. For sure. But just between this and all the different editions that have released over the last year and a half, 2 years or whatever, it just seems like, I don't know.
I'm with you.
I thought it was a fun little, yeah.
I saw this and I'm like, hey, what if we just moved on? What if we moved on?
Yeah.
All right. The next story to move on to, Ghost of Yotai's State of Play is coming tomorrow, July 10th, just as a PSA. We'll probably have some info next week, possibly on that. Depends on how long all of our stuff goes for 300. So we'll play that.
You're saying that like celebrating 300 is like getting in the way of this. You know what I mean? Like, damn the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It probably, I was trying to be optimistic, and I don't know.
We'll see how long the celebration goes. We're on a tight schedule here.
I did not mean it like that, but yes. Okay, Ubisoft has laid off 19 roles at Red Storm Entertainment as part of its $110 million cost reduction plan over the next 2 years. Ubisoft made the decision to eliminate the roles. This step is part of our ongoing targeted restructuring, blah, 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 blah. So, more bad news.
That's unfortunate. I mean, the writing was on the wall after the Division Heartland was canceled. I think that's what the studio was mostly working on for a very long time. And then, Ubisoft and mismanagement is like chocolate and peanut butter.
Stalker 2 has been announced for PlayStation 5, coming very soon. Of course, it doesn't say what date on here.
Like when they announced it on Twitter, they said one like and we'll announce Stalker 2 on PS5. It's a funny tweet.
On the way. Stand by for Titanfall. All right, the next quick bite. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has leapt to the 12th best-selling game in the United States for the month of May, number 5 on PC as well. Pretty insane numbers following the success of Andor.
Huge. It feels amazing.
Is that
it feels
why?
amazing to play still. That is I
That's
mean, that is
partly,
when the
yeah.
numbers started going up. Yeah, it's towards the end of when Andor finished. That's when everybody started jumping on Battlefront.
Yep. Just add some Andor stuff to Battlefront 2. People will fucking be all over that. And what?
I don't know if it was the main driver, but it was definitely one of them. It was also
What
around
I mean,
like the May the 4th celebration that it was like picking up.
that hasn't happened every other year.
Right.
In the last May the 4th happens every year, right?
The last 8 years it's
Yeah.
been out.
Yeah.
Because it did better numbers than even when it launched. Like,
Yeah.
it launched
I
worse
think
than
it's-
this.
I think it's getting all-time numbers still. Like the number's still climbing for its all-time concurrent.
Yeah. We have some stats here for Industry May report. I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty because we're going late. And Gage is on a time crunch. But essentially, Xbox sales dropped, hardware sales dropped, Switch sales, hardware sales dropped, and PS5 sales were up 3% year over year. Just some interesting stats there from hardware.
Can I also say that Xbox prices went up, Nintendo released a new console, and PlayStation 5 kept their prices the same?
That's true.
So that might contribute to that, maybe,
Yep.
That's true.
or a little bit.
Definitely.
Just a little bit.
All right. Our last.
Well,
Sorry.
PS5 did go up in some regions,
Correct.
but not every
Okay.
region.
True.
Yeah, but
Right.
that was a
In
while-
Americas, did it?
No.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
went
that's
up.
true.
It went up a while ago. I want to say in Europe.
Yep. In Australia, I think.
I thought it was like New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand and
Yeah,
Australia.
New Zealand, Australia.
Okay. All right. The last quick bite here. The Expanse Osiris Reborn has gotten some new details here from Shinobi602 on Twitter. Owlcat Games was very inspired by Mass Effect. Many of the team members played it in their youth. That's crazy to say.
It's
that
crazy.
out
I
loud.
know. That threw me for a loop too when I read that.
It would be impossible to deny that Mass Effect has had a lot of impact on us as game developers, but we're not trying to replicate it. Other systems were introduced since Mass Effect. Players are now accustomed to a lot more convenient user interfaces, convenient approaches to the gameplay, and we are doing that and not like modernizing Mass Effect, but just making a game in the same genre with all the modern trappings. The Expanse will have many choices and consequences and room for a lot of agency. Nuance is important to the story, and players won't be forced to be completely good or a total sociopath. Choices will have varying effects, especially on their companions. Your background choice as an Earther, Martian, or Belter affects the way that you're treated by companions and NPCs. You will not be very welcomed as an Earther or Martian on Cirrus, for example, in a reference to the destruction of the Canterbury. You would be more welcome there playing as a Belter, more opportunities, more places to visit, new side quests, etc. On the other hand, if you are of another origin, there will be other opportunities and other places for you to explore. Your twin sibling will also be on board, and they may or may not agree with the choices made by you as the player. There are multiple romanceable companion options among this ship's crew. Very cool. Very excited for
Very cool
that.
stuff.
I'm with you.
The one thing
on
that
Gage.
piqued my interest on that is like a lot of that stuff is the basic things that you would want in an RPG. But the idea of you have like a twin character that like maybe just has like this default sort of personality, and the choices you make they'll comment on. That's an interesting. I think that's interesting. That might be fun.
Absolutely. All right. Let's do a quick fantasy draft check-in. There hasn't been any new pickups since last week, so nothing new on that front. However, we do have a new release that is coming out in 2 days on Friday, which is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. 4. And good old Dan picked that one up. It right now is sitting at 85 on OpenCritic, so that gives me 15 points added to my total. So right now with that, I have 114 points, of course, with 7 games releasing, so half of my games have released. And then Christian is in second with 6 games that have released at 97 points for him. And then we go to third place right now, which is Gage at 62 points, and he has 5 games released. And then Ro is quietly in last right now, but slowly coming back with 39 points right now and 3 games released.
There's still a chance.
Still a chance.
Oh, what the hell? I have Donkey Kong. That's crazy.
You do. I bid against you for it, and you outbid me.
That's right. That's right.
I should have bid more for it.
Yay.
All right. Moving into what you got for me, Dan. What you got for me? I don't have a whole lot. I have been playing the new Halo Infinite update, which I very much enjoy. The new Search and Destroy mode that they added. It's awesome. And that's all I have to say about it.
They were gonna add that in CE, I think, but
oh my God.
They didn't have time.
Roshan, what you got for me?
I played Peak with my girlfriend this weekend, and it was lots of fun.
That's awesome.
Very fun, very fun. Definitely want to go back to it. I know you guys have played it because I saw the Steam numbers, but yeah, it's a fun time.
Hell yeah.
Christian?
I've played like 15 hours of Peak as well. Like I've been playing with a couple of different groups, and I would like to get back with you guys as well, to be honest. But yeah, I think this is one of the. It went from me being like I like this a lot to I think this is one of the best co-op experiences of the year. It rocks, and they like have been slowly adding a couple of items that like you just have to figure out what they do, and it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. I don't think I got to talk about Death Stranding 2 back like 2 weeks ago because I mean I was still in Mexico of that part of the game when I had it when like first was coming out. So I've spent more time with it now. Post release, while I do some guides work for it as well. It's crazy. It's crazy how much this game is like Death Stranding meets Metal Gear Solid 5. There's like a lot more combat in this game and a lot more combat choices. You have all kinds of different guns, all kinds of different ways to like you get like stats every time you complete an order, and one of them is like a combat stat, but you also have a stealth stat. So depending on what you're doing more of, you're getting better stats in that part of your like character, and then enemies respond accordingly to like more of the combat that you're doing. It's a lot of fun. Also, one thing I wanted to mention about this game is like people had problems, I think, with some of the framing of the first game. Not everyone had played a bunch of Kojima games, and like I get it. It can be kind of there's friction there with it's different, right? Like you're watching like an Asian artist as opposed to like a Western game. These games cinematics are kind of nuts. Like I was in my like private room, and Tarman, played by the character model is George Miller, right? The director, and like Tarman put some books in my private room for me. And Doll Man, played by director Faith Atkin, he's like this doll animated at a different animation. He's like, hey, I think you put those books in there. Like, do you want to spend time reading them? And so I picked one up, and there's like a picture of Tarman and another character I won't say who. And it's like, oh, who's this guy? And it's like, hey, do you want to take this picture to Tarman right now? And you have a choice to do so. And if you go do it, you have like this like unlockable cutscene that otherwise you would have just like not gotten if you didn't deliver it to him. And it is like a very lengthy cutscene, that had me like one of the most locked in stories I've ever gotten from like a Kojima game. Like that cutscene was like heartbreaking, and I'm like, I just would have missed this if I didn't pick up this stupid book, this copy of Moby Dick on board the DHV Magellan. Still a very silly game, but a lot of fun. And then the last thing I want to mention is we had a 6-stack in rematch over the weekend. For some reason, Dan decided to skip over this. And it was incredible because I think we spent 6 hours in a private match lobby doing different combinations of 3v3 best of 3 matches. And things got very heated, but they were also some of them like the most fun co-op I've had this year. It was incredible. What an incredible 4th of July to spend with the homies. Just feet up on the desk giggling. So thank you guys.
We convinced you to not go outside.
We did.
I was supposed to, but this was better.
Hell yeah.
Gage, what you got? I know you're running tight on time.
I am running tight. I'm just gonna talk about our rematch tournament, which was awesome. But there's the only reason getting this heated and getting this invested is if there's a little bit of stakes. And so I made sure to write down our final standings of this rematch tournament that we had. Like Christian said, we had 6 people. So if you can imagine all the different numbers of combinations, we only played 4 best of 3 series, but I think we probably could have done 1 or 2 more if we wanted to get every possible combination. But
it's important to know they all went to the final match every single time. Like these were close matches.
That's very true. Yes, it worked out amazingly, which is great. Which is also kind of confirmation that like we're all kind of somewhat in the same competent skill level. Yeah, exactly. Same. We understand the game to a similar extent, which was great. Like that worked out awesome. There was nobody where it's like you didn't want to pick this person or did. It was just a great, perfect little tournament that we had. So the final standings, in first place with 4 wins, and it fucking pains me to say this, is Sheldon.
Damn it.
With his 4 gold cups, exactly. Now, whether or not he just got lucky or was a driving factor, I will leave that up to interpretation. In second place with 2 wins is yours truly, Gage Dempster. In third place with 2 wins is Dan.
Wait, wouldn't that be tied?
No, in third place it's Dan, and in second place it's me. And in fourth place with 1 win, Christian, and in 5th place with 1 win is Justin.
What about Glenn?
Glenn did not. Oh yeah, Glenn did. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Glenn got 1 win as well. Yes. We'll put him in last. We'll put him in 6th place.
Oh yeah.
And just getting very heated in certain moments, like there's somehow stakes involved, even though there's not. Please.
Yesterday, I hit Alt-Z on my keyboard and opened up my NVIDIA library. And I went to my rematch gameplay clips, and I clicked on the one that I had a feeling was the one, and I fast-forwarded close to the end, and I hear Gage go, nice, they can't do anything. And then Dan goes, well, they can still score.
Yeah.
And then
they scored.
Then I saw me equalize to take us into overtime, and then like 30 seconds later, I got the winner. It was incredible. And Dan is just having a riot.
Can you please upload some of those clips to our Twitter chat or to the Discord or something?
Yeah. I want to send you the one of Dan scoring on gosh, I forget what it was. I must have been Justin.
Yeah. You were quiet for like a minute and a half, and I could tell that you were locked in. And as soon as you got that goal, let's go! Let's go!
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Incredible.
Those are the moments that like it's crazy that we don't get those moments in matchmaking, but we get them in a no stakes tournament. Like we weren't even getting experience points, nobody was unlocking anything.
Yeah.
Just having good old fashioned fun.
That's what it's all about, dude.
That's what it's about, man. Absolutely.
What it's about. All right, thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
Adios.